Hello dear students, this is TC ma'am and I am making this video for you people for your CC1 paper for the first semester honors English honors students. And I cannot believe that we have not met you personally, and our relationship has been established depending on the virtual world, on the online world. This is very unfortunate, and it is very easy to assume that it is very difficult for a teacher not to see those eager faces gazing towards us in search of knowledge, to know something new. And of course, it is difficult to teach online without seeing your happy faces, without interacting with you, without the classroom environment, and without establishing the proper teacher-student relationship. But we must abide by the rules of the university, and we must consider the pandemic situation outside, and till the college opens once again we have to wait, we have to manage through online classes, as we do not have any other option left. So let us begin with our syllabus first. As you can see on your screen that the CC1 paper syllabus is being shown here, and you can see the group B portion, that is the philology portion, as I have told you earlier in my voice message on WhatsApp, that I am supposed to teach you from this group B, and I will teach you section 2, that is consonant shift and word formation processes. Okay, this one, section 2. Okay, so in section 2 you have native resources, and you need to know some processes through which English words are formed. As I told you earlier that philology is the linguistic part of English. We have two parts, right? The literature portion and the language portion. So these falls in the language portion. And word formation processes are shortening, back formation, derivations, etc. So in my first class I will be discussing these processes, and in my next class and next curriculum I will be giving you short notes on hybridism, monosyllabism, free and fixed compounds, malapropism, ing formation, and Johnsonese. And I must tell you that you do not need to bother about these short notes, because I will give you some reading material or study material. I will upload them on your respective Google Classroom, from where you can access those materials and write your own answers depending on them, or rather using them as references. Okay, and now we must look forward to the end semester question pattern. And what is it? There will be one question of 10 marks from section 1. So that is not my portion. You have to answer one broad question of 10 marks from Latin influence, Scandinavian influence, French influence, etc. And I am not supposed to teach you that. I will be teaching from section 2, and one question of 10 marks out of 2 and one question of 5 marks out of 2 from section 2. So from section 2 you need to write one 10 marks question, and there will be 2 options, okay, and one 5 marks question, and there will be 2 options as well. That is short notes. From this short notes portion you will be having 2 questions, and from which 2 questions consisting 5 marks, and from which you need to answer only 1 question. And from the first portion you will be asked 2 questions of 10 marks, that is long answer type questions, and you need to write only 1 from them. Okay, as far as the suggested readings are concerned, or the reference books are concerned, there are 4 books given in the list in the bibliography. The first one is Otto Jespersen, the second one is C.L. Rain. Both of them are equally good, and the University of Calcutta follows these books from ages, okay, since eternity, I'll say. In our college days, when we were graduation students in our UG courses, we used to learn from these books, and I'm happy to announce that I would like to follow the topics from these two books. And the third one is A.C. Bao. It is equally good as well, and I may use a few quotes, a few quotations from A.C. Bao, which will enrich your answers and help you to fetch marks. And the last one is C.L. Barber. This book is not that much important for me because as far as the first three books are concerned, you can get all of your answers, materials for your writing your answers from these three books, and you don't need the fourth one that much. But still, if you feel like, you can obviously read it as well. Okay, so I will show you the cover of the first two books, that is Otto Jespersen, Growth and Structure of the English Language, and the English Language, written by C.L. Rain. I will be closely following these two books for the long answers and the short notes as well, and in order to explain you the word making processes and all. So let us begin with the first portion, that is consonant shift and word formation processes, shortening, back formation and derivation. I think so far you have learned about the process, how the vast English vocabulary has been built up from so many foreign sources like Latin, Scandinavian, French resources upon a native Germanic foundation, that is the basic Old English, and of how its spelling and pronunciation have grown up. Now let us focus more nearly at what is still the core of the language, that is vocabulary and construction. Let us find out the native English elements in the language. Okay, we must consider the outline, how the shapes of words have changed during the history of English language. Now, what is the history of English language? You know what is the history of English literature? That is the history that went through the passage of time. We talk about different literary ages, the authors and their remarkable texts. Those are important in each age, each literary age, containing the key features of that age, sometimes succumbing to those features and sometimes deviating from them as well. And that whole thing constructs the history of literature. And the history of language is the history or the changing pattern of the creation of the language through the passage of time. Okay. Now, in the history of language, we shall know how new words have been built up from elements already existing, and how ordering or arranging of these words has developed in the process of time. The study of the shapes of words is technically termed as morphology. Maybe you are accustomed to the term morphology or its origin, that is the Greek word morphe. The Greek word morphe. Morphe means shape. As I have already told you that you are accustomed to the term morphology. How? Because the morphology term exists in biological sciences. It means the structure of animals and plants. And we are also accustomed to the term geomorphology. There is a subject, that is geomorphology. What is geomorphology? Geomorphology is a part of geography and it deals with the structure of rocks and soil. Okay, so morphy or morphology deals with the structure, the shape. Okay, and the closely related study of how the ending of words may be used to show their relationship is called inflection. Okay, these are some technical terms of philology. Okay, the study of pronunciation indicated in the philology is termed as phonology. Phone means sound, you know, and the study of pronunciation, that is the sound of the word, and that study or process is called phonology. That comes from the Greek word phone. Phone means sound or voice, as I have already told you. Okay, and this whole thing, the whole subject of phonology or sounds, morphology or shapes and inflection is sometimes called philology. Okay, the doctrine of forms. Okay, and there are many other things, and I think you don't need that much details. This is a general introduction to your class of philology, and before beginning the word formation processes, you must know these little things, and these are enough for you people, for the first semester students, I guess. Okay, as I have already told you that despite of the words vastly larger size of the foreign part of the English vocabulary, it has remained in the fundamental simple words of its vocabulary and its grammatical structure a Germanic language. And what is a Germanic language? Germanic language is the Anglo-Saxon language that influenced or that took the most important role in the formation of English. Okay, and this Englishness can be traced right through from the first Anglo-Saxons to the present day. That very native pinch or native taste or native scent is present in English language. Naturally, therefore, English has never entirely at any time lost its native power in the making of the new words by derivation or building up words from native stocks and parts. It has always stick to the native resources, and after that it has taken or it has been influenced from the foreign influences, foreign languages. But the native thing, the native essence is always there, both in the form and the structure of English language and English words, English vocabulary. True, these powers were atrophied by the centuries of foreign domination in cultural matters during the French supremacy, as you all know, and influenced by Latin as well during the time of Renaissance. I think you have already known about these things during your study of section 1. Okay, and you have learned about the foreign influences of on English language, and now we will talk about the native influences. Okay, yet the foreign tongues, especially French and Latin, have made their contribution to English word building by means of new prefixes and suffixes, which have in time become as active and usable in the formation of new words as the originally native elements themselves. Foreign words too have become so English in appearance as well as in sound or pronunciation that, so to say, they have been Englished. The foreign influences have been anglicized or Englished through the passage of time. English has incorporated everything within itself. Okay. Now let us look forward to the processes, word formation processes one by one. That is shortening, back formation and derivations. Now we will begin with the first one, that is back formation. Okay. The English people, aware of the suffix on occasions, cut off the last part of a word to derive what they thought was the original English root. You know what is a suffix? A suffix is something that is attached to the second portion of a word, in the end of a word. The beginning portion is called prefix and the ending portion is called a suffix of a word. Now what did the English people do? They omitted the suffix portion to create a new English word. It is derived from the German word Rückbildung. The German word for this is Rückbildung. Rückbildung. Okay. Let us see an example so that we can understand what's going on. The noun butcher comes from the French word boucher, and the English er is not the usual English suffix, but it is mistakenly eliminated to get the new word butch. So, to butch means to cut meat, and butcher means the person who cuts meat. In butcher, butcher is originally a French word. Okay, French word. This er, butch plus er, this er is an unknown suffix. Suffix because it has been added at the end of the word. This is an unknown suffix which is not English. So, and the original French word is boucher. Okay, and what did the English people do? They omitted this er and derived the new word butch, means to cut meat. Okay, so thus by omitting the suffix, a new word has been formed by omitting the suffix, that means back formation. The word has been formed from the back. So this process is called back formation. Okay. We will see some other examples as well. Clipping of ing. Okay, ing is also a suffix. We often add ing at the ending of many words, and omitting ing, some English words has been created, like seedle has been created from seedling. So by omitting the ing, a new word has been created. Another example is grovel, created from groveling. There is another suffix, that is y. Examples: greed, formed from greedy. The original word, the old word is greedy, and by omitting the y suffix, the word greed has been created and it is considered as an English word. Okay. Pup, from puppy. Okay. Pet, from petty. Gloom, created from gloomy. So the original word is gloomy and the y is omitted and the gloom word is formed and considered as an English word. Okay. Another example is clipping of ing again, but from proper names. Proper names. What is that? Like bent from banting. Banting means kautuk. Banting was the name of a cabinet maker, but the name was treated as a verbal noun. Hence the ing was dropped to produce the word bent. Okay. So bent from banting. Okay. We must now see some other examples as well, like clipping of OR, AR, ER, etc. Okay, new words have been created or formed by dropping OR, AR, ER, etc. These suffixes. Let us see some examples like bigger, big. The AR has been dropped. Hawker, hawk. Burglar, burgle. So the ER portion has been dropped. So these are some examples. Okay. Some Latin words produce un-Latin verbs. Okay. What are they? Editor. You are quite familiar with this term. Editor gives rise to the English word edit. So the OR has been omitted. Okay. And donator, to donate. These original words were Latin words, but they have produced un-Latin verbs. Edit is a verb, donate is a verb, to donate, to edit are verbs. So these original words were Latin and they had created un-Latin verbs. Un-Latin verbs by dropping OR, by dropping suffixes. Understood? Okay. It has become a bad habit to ask understood after I tell something. But sometimes we really forget that you are not here present. Maybe you will be watching the videos one by one and the classes are not interactive anymore. We couldn't meet at all. And this is very painful. Sometimes this understood makes me remind of those days when you used to go to college and take direct classroom teaching. Those were something that we the teachers crave for, and maybe you the students are also craving for going to college, meeting us, enjoying your college life, because you are losing those precious days one by one. So this is very unfortunate and this really makes us sad. We can just pray that the pandemic ends very fast. Okay. Now let us go back to our study again. Okay. Another example is clipping of ace. Clipping of ace from the back for the wrong notion that it is a sign of plural. Okay. Peas to pea, motorshoti. Okay. This ace does not stand for plural, but this ace has been omitted by the misunderstand that it has been used for making the P word plural. Another example from food is cherries to cherry. A single fruit has been named cherry, omitting the S. Okay. So, now we will see another interesting part of this back formation thing, that is back formation from compounds. Okay, what are compounds? Compounds are combination of words. Okay, compound means combination. Okay, adding more than one thing. It is unusual in English to form compounds with the verb as the second and the object as the first part. Okay. Hence we have pickpocket and not pocket pick. Pickpocket is the word, right word. We do not use pocket pick because English people prefer the verb first and the object second, which was supposed to be the object in the first place and the verb in the second place. Because a pocket or something within the pocket will be picked. So the correct form should have been this. But the English people, they do not prefer this. They prefer the first one. They prefer the verb first and the object second. So pick, pocket. These are the compounds. When we get a word like bookkeep, or merry-make, we know that they have not been formed as a compound. Okay, they were not supposed to be made in this logic that we will put the object first and the verb second. That was not the notion. That was not what they intended to do. They have not been formed by placing the object and the verb together, but by subtracting the last part of the word as it was mistakenly taken to be a suffix. That means the original word was bookkeeping and they have omitted this part and made this. Merry making was the original word and they have omitted this and made this. Okay, so usually which are formed compounds in English, in case of English words, they are like verb first and object second. But in those cases where we see objects are put in the first place and the verb in the second place, you must understand that they are not original words. They are back formations. Okay, they are back formations. How? The original word has been reduced. The suffix part has been cut off to make the new English word. So, bookkeeping has been changed to bookkeep through back formation. Okay, they have understood this as a suffix and they have changed it into bookkeep. Okay, and sometimes not from ing but from er also. Bookkeeper, merrymaker are the original words and the er has been removed to make these examples. Okay, and similar examples are backbiter, and the term backbite has been derived from this, thinking that this er is a suffix. There are many more examples like boot liquor to boot leak. Okay, house keeper to house keep. Okay. Not only ear but some other suffixes as well, like sunburnt to sunburn. Okay, like matchmaker to match make. Eavesdropper to eavesdrop. They are very common English words and most of you are accustomed to these words, I guess. So these are the various processes through which through back formation we have got new English words, from French words, from Latin words, etc. So these are the processes through which back formation has been done, and these are the examples. Okay, now we will move forward to the second process, that is shortening, or we often term this as word clipping. By clipping a portion of the word, we shorten them. Okay. The general tendency of English language is monosyllabism. English people love or adore monosyllabic words. Okay. Not long words but monosyllables. Monosyllable means there is only one syllable in the word. This has led to numerous popular clippings of long loan words. Loan words means words those are borrowed from foreign tongues. Words borrowed from foreign cultures. They are loan words. Loan means to borrow. Dhar kora. Okay. The clippings have taken place in various ways. Not single way, but various ways. Let us see them one by one. How the loan words has been shortened or clipped, and a monosyllabic word, a word that contains single syllable, has been created and introduced to the English vocabulary. Okay, the first process or the first way is only the beginning remains. Only the beginning remains. What is that? The original word is popular concerts. This is the loan word. This is the loan word. The original one. Original. And the word that has been transformed is pop. Pop is the first portion. So, popular concerts to pop. Another example is pub from public house. So, the very first syllable of this compound has been taken as a word, as a monosyllabic word, that is pub. Okay. Let us see some more examples, like exam from examination, and cab from cabriolet. Cab from cabriolet, that is taxi. What we know as taxi, that is cab from cabriolet. Another word is caps or cap from capital letters. Okay? We often say write in caps, that is capital letters. So caps from capital letters. So the first monosyllable has been taken. The first syllable has been taken and created into a monosyllabic word. Okay. Then we will see the next type of clipping, that is clipping made in the beginning of the words. For example, omnibus was the original word and the omni or the first portion of the word has been omitted and the word, the monosyllable that came from is bus. Okay, so bus from omnibus. Then phone came from telephone. This is a very common example which you can easily relate to. The tele portion, the first portion has been omitted and the second portion is kept. Another example is wig or false hair. Wig means false hair, from periwig. Okay, wig from periwig. This is the second type of clipping or shortening, where the first portion of the original word has been omitted and the second portion is kept. And the third process is clipping is made in the beginning and at the end and only the middle portion remains. Okay, this is very interesting. That is, the original word is detective. Here the D portion is omitted, the tive portion is omitted and only the tech portion is kept and it became a monosyllabic word, that is tech. So these are the examples, various examples of clipping in which sometimes the first portion of the word is omitted, sometimes the ending of the word is omitted and sometimes only the middle portion remains, where both the first and the last portion are omitted. The clipped words have become so popular in English language that the original words have become almost non-existent, because we hardly use public house. We always use pub. We do not say cabriolet. We use cab. Let's take a cab and go to my aunt's place. Okay, so we do not say let's take a cabriolet. Let's go for a cabriolet. We say let's take a cab. So these are the various process of clipping or shortening through which various new English words have been formed. Now let us move to the third and the last topic, that is derivation. Derivation. Okay. Yet foreign terms, especially French, Latin and Greek, have made their contribution to English word building by means of new prefixes and suffixes, which have in time become as active and usable in the formation of new words as the originally native elements themselves. Foreign words too have become so English in appearance as well as in sound as to have been thoroughly, so to say, Englished. It has been Englished, as I already told you. Englished. Okay. The building up of new words from already existing words, adding suffixes or prefixes as goodness from good. It's often termed as derivation. So we call this process derivation, to derive a new word. The deriving or originating of one word from another. From goodness to good. We derived a new word from another word. That is derivation or derivation. Okay. English has continued to be able to make new words from native elements or from foreign ones that have been so long in the language as to have become thoroughly naturalized. So I am reading from the book, The English Language. written by the English language, written by C.L. Rain. Okay, I am just quoting or reading some paragraphs. In recent times, particularly since the middle of the 19th century, this power has been markedly active. Perhaps the most outstanding method of making new formations of late has been that of using any and almost every noun as a verb. Thus, such nouns of varying origin as tattoo, drum, radio, ration, police, and the proper name banting have also become verbs, as I told you. Banting to bant. Okay. From the place name Shanghai has been made the verb to Shanghai, because this kind of act was first associated with the criminal life of Shanghai. The converse process of forming a new noun from a verb is seen in words like run. Usually run means running. The verb, the action to run. Okay, but run has become a word in the process of cricket playing, and it has been used as a noun. Run means the score. Run means score in cricket. So the verb has changed into a noun. Okay. There are many examples like ride. Okay. Ride means to ride or riding. That's a verb. That means to ride something. But ride has become a noun. How? In Nico Park, we often use an element of amusement as a ride. Okay, a ride to a sledge, a ride to a merry-go-round. Okay, so ride has become a noun from a verb. These are the examples where the new nouns have been made by using the verb forms as nouns, even though there were earlier words in the language which could have been retained for these purposes. A recent example is broadcast. Okay, where the noun has come from the verb. Broadcasting is the verb and it has become a noun. We often refer to a program as a broadcast. Okay. We often say watch the broadcast at 7 p.m. So we use it as a noun. Okay. Here the element broad is from abroad with reduction of unstressed first syllable. Indeed, examples could be adduced to show that almost any part of speech has at one time or another in the modern period been used to perform the functions of another. So these are the examples. The making of these new words and compounds, the using of old words as other parts of speech, and the reviving of older words with new meanings, these processes are continuing as a part of the natural life of the English language. But what is remarkable is the scope and variety of the methods of word building from native elements. So these are the various processes through which new English words are being made from either old English words, or new compounds are being made from old compounds, and sometimes from foreign loan words, and sometimes by permutation combination of native words. And this process is continuous. New words are still being made from their older versions. Maybe sometimes another English word is formed
from another English word by changing the parts of speech, by the change of the use. So sometimes the change is in the meaning, sometimes the change is in the part of speech, sometimes the change is in sound. Thus, various words are being made and remade. So that's all for the word formation processes. And next we will move forward to the short notes in my next video. Thank you. Please watch this video and share your opinion whether you like it or not. If you have any doubt or question regarding this, please WhatsApp me. I will answer all of you eventually. And if there is any doubt created in all your minds, if there is any problem that is common, then please tell me. I will try to send a voice message in your group so that all of you can understand what am I trying to say. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.